A dead body pulled out of a house in Rose on Tuesday, identified as that of former school teacher Cirillo Chance. Hurricane Irma's onslaught on St. Martin and St. Thomas forced a rerouting of the cruise ship Carnival Fascination to Dominica, and the private sector to develop a disaster recovery plan to cut down on post-disaster recovery time. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details coming up.
The stage is set for the 6th annual NCCU Calypso Show, Portersville, Savannah, November 2nd, 2017. Come see top performances by Calypso bands and individuals and the Calypso legend. It will be massive. The 2017 NCCU Calypso Show, Portersville, Savannah, November 2nd, 2017. The legacy lives on. Make it a date.
www.buymuslimlamps.com. No standing in line, no wasting your time. Buymuslimlamps.com. Just order online, everything will be fine. As soon as you click, you're getting it quick. Buymuslimlamps.com. It's like having the entire store at your fingertips.
Honey, you got a grill.
BuyMuslim.com.
But you know we also need a refrigerator and a television.
Oh yes! www.buymuslims.com.
Do you need more cash for that home improvement? Then come to Fast Cash, where we give you more. At Fast Cash, our customers get more funds and more time to repay. But wait, can't come to us? We'll come to you, and our mobile officer will get you on your way. Small businesses, consumers, and taxi owners. Fast Cash has more for everyone. Simply call or visit any of our locations for more. Smarter, faster, better. Fast Cash. Terms and conditions apply.
Car troubles? Need new clothes for that big event? House repairs? But no cash? Get a cash-ready loan today and you're all set to customize your car, switch up your style, repair that leaking roof, or do whatever it is on your list. Come in today and upgrade with a loan from Ready Cash.
First up, a tragic scene in Rosa on Tuesday morning as police carried away the body of a 39-year-old man from his home near the Kings Hill bus stop. The police confirmed to Channel 5 News that the body is that of Cirillo Alwyn Rafik Chance. The young man is known to some as Sir Chance from his days as a teacher at Goodwill Secondary. Others have referred to him as Dutch Boy. There are reports that the dead body may have been in the house for days. The police are currently investigating in an effort to determine how Chance died. In other news now, the country welcomed an unscheduled call from the Carnival Fascination ship on Tuesday with primarily Puerto Rican passengers. Idona John Baptist has that story.
The 7-night Southern Caribbean cruise found its way to Dominica's shores due to the impact of Hurricane Irma on St. Martin and St. Thomas. The ship's first stop after leaving its home port in San Juan, Puerto Rico, would be St. Thomas. Dutch St. Martin was also on its itinerary. After leaving Dominica Tuesday evening, it moved on to Barbados and will continue to St. Lucia. It looks like Antigua is also receiving an unscheduled visit, after which the cruise goes to St. Kitts and back to San Juan. This is not the first time the Fascination is docking on the island's port. While Tourism Director Colin Piper lamented the circumstances related to the ship rerouting, he noted that it was good news for tourism service providers.
First of all, we want to go on record to send all our well wishes to those who have been impacted. And as you know, the government and the people of Dominica are doing what they can to provide aid, both monetary and in goods, to the affected in some of those islands. However, we are happy to welcome the Carnival Fascination.
Carnival Fascination's call comes in the off-season as tourism authorities prepare for the start of the 2017-2018 cruise season in October. The expectation is that the country will welcome more cruises from Carnival, the world's largest cruise line.
October 23rd this year through April of next year is the regularly scheduled season for cruise calls coming in. So post October 23rd, we will then see the regular schedule, and that's when we'll start to see the regular calls of the Carnival lines coming in. That has been already announced that certain vessels of Carnival cruise lines will be coming into Dominica during the 2017-2018 season, and we're hopeful beyond as it relates to summer and in the years to come that we will confirm and finalize a little later on.
There's an increase in international arrivals to the Caribbean during the winter season outside of the region and the non-hurricane season in the Caribbean.
And then the summer season typically goes May, June, July, August, September. That's where you see lesser calls to the Caribbean because of the weather. But you see an increase of cruise calls coming into the Caribbean region during the period of October through April, May.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is not satisfied with the time it takes for small islands to receive international funds for rebuilding after disasters, as well as to make them resilient to the effects of climate change. He spoke in solidarity with Caribbean countries picking up the pieces following the passage of Category 5 Hurricane Irma. Affected islands include the British Virgin Islands, Cuba, French and Dutch St. Martin and Anguilla. A particularly hard-hit island is Barbuda, where more than 90% of structures there were destroyed. As a result, Dominica has provided over $2 million to the affected islands. Dominica is also expected to be part of a United Nations conference to raise funds for rebuilding Barbuda. Mr. Skerrit, who is also Finance Minister, believes the process for receiving funds pledged under the Paris Climate Accord is usually long compared to the frequency and unexpected impact of some disasters.
So we have to address this issue, and what we're saying to the international community is that we cannot only look at one variable, that is your per capita income, and not look at your vulnerabilities. Your vulnerability to external shocks, to natural disasters. You understand? All of those things can impact on you, because when you look at our debt, for example, a lot of our debt has to do with our response to disasters. You know, because you cannot wait for the funds to become available and people are suffering. You have to fetch the monies wherever you can legally find them. And so you find yourself forcing to have to go to commercial loans at 10%, 8% to refinance or to finance your reconstruction.
The business community is taking steps to develop a disaster recovery plan to ensure more efficient bounce back post-natural disasters. The two-day workshop got underway on Tuesday, and Labour Commissioner Matthew LeBlanc says a disaster recovery plan must be taken seriously, as lack of employment due to disasters can have a ripple effect on the economy or on a country.
In order to survive, recover and continue in business after disaster, businesses must think ahead and take the necessary steps to prepare for it. When that great challenge comes, the businesses must be prepared to develop a disaster plan that would enable them to recover from the negative impact of that disaster and continue in business. So in the disaster plan, while we try to deal with the economic impact, we must look at the social impact also, because each worker is a member of a family. Each family is a member of a community, and the communities make the nation. So when one worker is affected negatively by a disaster, because his work was destroyed, his family is affected and the community is affected, and when this is multiplied, the nation is affected.
The International Labour Organization and the Caribbean Employers Federation collaborated with the Dominica Employers Federation in hosting this workshop, the third in a series being done by the ILO.
These discussions or these workshops basically are meant to improve the level of readiness by the private sector in terms of business preparedness and readiness, but most importantly to also facilitate some engagement and a better understanding in terms of the role of the National Disaster Office. Let me share with you that this is the third workshop that we are having on this particular issue.
President of the Dominica Employers Federation, Benoit Badwil, says in light of recent events, a disaster recovery plan for businesses is a must.
Because when you take a look at the television and you see how some of these areas have been decimated, you then ask yourself, how are they going to build back their businesses? We need to plan our organization's response to being impacted by a major natural event, like I said earlier, hurricanes, earthquakes, etc., by conducting drills to ensure that when the time comes, we are not in total shock.
And the largest full-service communications operator in the region, Cable and Wireless Communications, remains committed to reconnecting the Caribbean in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma. CEO John Reed says Irma was an historic event and the company has suffered some damage to both fixed and mobile networks. But he says the networks proved resilient during the storm. He says at times Cable and Wireless was the only network operating in some of the impacted territories. The mobile network in Antigua and Anguilla are back up to pre-Irma usage levels. Cable and Wireless's attention is now wholly focused on rapidly restoring services to impacted customers across the region. The company has also established a restoration hub in Antigua, where technicians from across the Cable and Wireless Group, Jamaica, Barbados and Panama, as well as its parent company Liberty Global, will be dedicated to getting islands back online. The company also extended free credit across affected markets, enabling prepaid mobile customers to get in contact with their loved ones on their island or abroad without worrying about charges. Cable and Wireless announced that it will not disconnect services in affected areas until further notice to ease the burden on customers during this difficult time. You are watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, a renewed effort to spread awareness of gender equality amongst the student population.
There's a place in Portsmouth that's mellow.
The products and services are just mellow.
Located on Harbour Lane in Portsmouth, next to the St. John's School, it's Milo's Bakery.
Milo's Bakery offers a wide variety of tasty pastries and breads for your satisfaction.
Baked fresh and soft.
So come to Milo's for your tasty pastries.
Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Saturday and from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays.
Call 445-4044 today.
What's new about Flo's new postpaid combo plans? They're designed to give you the flexibility to do everything in your mobile life. Simple and easy monthly plans packed with even more data, talk and text so you can stream, post and share anywhere. Talk with anyone on any network or even further away. Plus, roll over unused data and minutes or share with family. Simple, flexible plans with everything you need. Flo's postpaid combo plans. We've got big plans for you.
In the event of a storm, subscribers must disconnect the mapping cable at the back of all television sets, modems and routers. It is also wise to unplug all devices from the electrical outlets. This has been another mapping hurricane tip. Remember, be safe, be smart this hurricane season.
Your perfect day starts tonight with a perfect mattress from Cords. Right now, get mattresses from as low as $279. Plus, getting the right mattress is more affordable with nothing down and nothing to pay for 60 days. So shop at Cords to help you start your perfect day. Only at Cords, bringing value home.
Thank you for staying with us. As students head back to the classroom for the new academic year, the Bureau of Gender Affairs is confident that the message of gender equality will be spread even wider among school children. This as the Bureau hosted a successful youth peace camp over the summer. Acting Coordinator of Research and Program Development with the Bureau, Melissa Morgan, says the youth camp is part of a 3-year social mobilization campaign which aims to spread the issue of gender equality among the youth.
Some of the participants developed sort of peer relationships with the other participants of the camp, and together they have come to work together to develop their own prevention approaches in their schools. So we've had students actually go to their principal and state that they want to start a prevention program at their school. We have students that became advocates at their school or in their respective organizations. We don't expect immediate change. I mean, changing behaviors and attitudes, sometimes this takes years. So, you know, we're happy that even in that week, just 1 week, that we're able to make such a big difference. And as I said, it doesn't end there. We plan to work with both boys and girls even beyond the camp period.
The 3-year campaign is scheduled to come to an end in 2018, and Morgan pointed out that plans for next year will be enhanced to reach even a wider cross-section of youth.
One of the main activities under this project is working with youth, and hence comes Strengthening Prevention Approaches program, which falls under the Youth Peace Camp this year. For the further running of the Strengthening Prevention Approaches program, we're looking to target the remainder of the schools that have not yet participated in the program, and as well engaging students from the first 2 years. What we plan to do is maybe a different approach. We've tried the camp for the first 2 years. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it will be a camp in the 3rd year. We may try a different approach, something more sustainable. Based on the feedback from this camp for this year, we might have to change the approach, because you have, when dealing with youth, you have to have innovative and new and exciting interventions. You can't always throw the same thing at them or else they get bored.
The Bureau's social mobilization campaign is funded by the government of Dominica and UN Women. And tension mounts within the La Plaine-La Ronde Village Council as a move continues to unseat Councillor Jason Fontaine. Even after receiving a recent suspension letter, Fontaine threatens that he will not bow out of his duties as a councillor. He obtained the second highest votes during the January Village Council election, topping the polls together with his running mate Kevin Bato. Fontaine received notice of his suspension from his colleague Bato, who is the chairperson of the council. However, Fontaine says the suspension and the recent vote of no confidence in him holds no legal weight.
I'm not saying that they could not pass that motion, but the process in which that motion has to be passed, it is supposed to be done properly. So apparently when they realized by law and there is legal implications that it was not that easy as they think it was, they wrote me a letter and served me a letter from signed by the chairman, a suspension letter. Now let's make it clear to the public so the public can understand. You do not use a motion of no confidence at a council meeting held on La Plaine Village Council office on August 17, 2017. A motion of no confidence was moved against you, Fontaine, for allegedly misrepresenting the La Plaine Village Council. So therefore, this letter that I have in my hand, that was presented to me, is null and void to me, and is only water to me. I have looked at all legal implications of this. I have sought all advice and legal advice.
Fontaine says the people who elected him would not want to see him back down, and therefore he is acting on their request. As a matter of fact, he plans on attending a council meeting planned for Thursday afternoon.
I'm not a nominated member. I'm elected by 239 people to represent them in office. Now, I will do what the people ask me to do. The people tells me that, okay, leave it alone, don't fight this, I will step back. But the people is going back to the people. The people are saying, don't give up, don't bow down, don't give up on this, fight till you go down. I will continue attending council meetings, and anyone who chooses to walk out can freely do so when I attend meetings. But I will be representing the people of La Plaine, and there will be decisions made, actually, just so you know. There will be a vote again. This council is going to meet before we move forward. Before this council move on any other issue, this matter has to be dealt with once and for all.
The basis for the vote of no confidence surrounds the circulation of video footage of Fontaine at the home of an elderly woman, suggesting that he was trying to extort money from the lady.
The videos that was running around is all alleged videos. They were investigated and all alleged. They were falsely, the way it was put out against me was actually false, misinterpretation of the facts, and which I can clear up. But I have already cleared up with the media and also cleared up with a lot of different organizations. The council knew that. The Labour Commissioner, Mr. John Fontaine, and the Assistant Deputy Commissioner, I think, Mr. Toussaint, knew that. Everyone knew that. We had several meetings prior, after actually the videos surfaces about me.
In related news, Council Chairman Kevin Bateau has expressed frustration with the conflict within the camp, saying that he just wants to move on with their vision.
It's part of a challenge, for all of us, it is, yes. It's an issue that we are dealing with, and we are hoping that something good will come out of it.
Bateau was hoping he could have brought a fresh approach to local government in the community, given the dissolution of the previous council last year due to differences among members.
I think when people come with different agendas and they're not willing to compromise, so they just couldn't function together. Again, because of politics, people come from different ends, and then when people work together, it just did not mesh well. When Laplin Council has a rich history, but the recent years has been a bit troublesome. So we are trying to make a turnaround to focus on the people of Laplin and on what it needs, what we need, and how we can move forward, and to make Laplin what it used to be before. Like when I was growing up in terms of sports, education, culture. Sometimes, the politics can divide the people. And it's okay if people have sides, but then that shouldn't prevent us from coming together and working as a people. It's a democracy, and we need both sides to come together.
That's news. Next up, your sports highlights with Kenny Williams.
We begin with cricket, where West Indies Test skipper Jason Holder believes the way forward for the team is to win and do so consistently. Holder says the team has shown some improvement in the game over time. However, while the Windies' decline as a Test force has slowly been established, their players in the limited overs are still highly rated. Recently, the Test team lost 2-1 in a series against England.
I think we've shown improvement. When we sit down and critique each series, we just try to look for improvement. We've definitely shown improvement, especially in our bowling. We're improving in our consistency there. Our batters are still, finding their way, for lack of a better phrase. Still relatively inexperienced, but Shea really showed, what he can do. He obviously struggled early on in his Test career. To have a series like he's had now is remarkable. I think Craig has really led our batting now for the last couple of years, and to see guys like Ross and Chase in the last series, now Shea Hope in this series, putting up their hands and helping out. I think I've done a really good job as well in the lower half. Shane Durrich didn't really get runs in this series, but he's done well for us in the recent past.
Meantime, West Indies will come up against Ireland for an only one-day international match on Wednesday. This will be Ireland's first fixture against a Test-playing nation since acquiring Test status. A win against Ireland should give the Windies a boost of confidence ahead of their only day-night T20 against England carded for Saturday. Neither side has managed to dominate anyone in ODIs of late. In that sense, their reputations remain the same. In related sports, Cricket West Indies announced West Indies women management coach Vasbert Drakes, as well as his assistant Ezra Mosley and Stuart Williams, have been relieved of duty on Tuesday. The three oversaw a poor ICC Women's World Cup campaign in England, where they finished 6th among 8 teams. The Windies team won only 2 out of 7 matches against Sri Lanka and Pakistan, sides that finished below them at the World Cup, which ran from June 24 to July 23. CWI hopes to set up a new management support structure ahead of the home series against Sri Lanka starting on October 4. In the interim, former West Indies A coach Henry Springer will take over the role, with former batsman Gus Logie set to assist him. A CWI release stated the process will start with the search for a new head coach, and an interim management team will be in place for the short term. West Indies also slumped to their second lowest total in women's ODIs when they were bowled out for 48 against South Africa. An 18-member squad will be selected for a conditioning camp from September 25 to October 4, after which the squad for the home series will be picked for the 3 ODIs, 3 T20s scheduled for Trinidad and Tobago and Antigua. Next up, we can tell you that National Youth Sprinter Danielson Mahote is adjusting well at the MVP Track Club in Jamaica. Recently, the 17-year-old traveled to Jamaica to advance his career in track and is in preparation mode for his next assignment in January.
Thus far, I've been adjusting to Jamaica very well. The training up there is a bit intense. Yes, it is tough, but it is nothing that I can't handle. So I have been finishing my training and getting everything I need to do done. My next track meet is not until January. So right now I just want to focus on the preseason training and focus on my training because you need to train before you compete. But when season do open, I think my mentality might change to just running through for the early parts of the seasons, not going too hard and risking injuries because I have a long season ahead of me. So I want to take it easy and ease into it, build up instead of just going hard from the start. So when my next track meet is probably late January, I'm not sure yet, but I will build into it.
Mahote's upcoming assignments include the Carifta Games in Bahamas, Commonwealth Games in Australia, IAAF World Junior Championships in Finland, OECS Championships in St. Kitts, CAC Games in Colombia, and the Youth Olympics in Argentina. Mahote thanks government for their support. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us next time.
It's time now for your weather update.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Annie Corrette-Joseph. We begin this evening by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery, which showed cloudy skies over the Lesser Antilles during the course of the day as a result of weak unstable conditions. Visible satellite imagery showed multi-layered clouds over Dominica during the course of the afternoon. Radar imagery indicated some shower activity, mainly over the Windward Islands. Conditions for tonight: partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy skies with some scattered showers. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers, mainly during the afternoon. Sea conditions: moderate in open water with waves up to 7 feet. Small craft operators and seabathers are advised to continue to exercise some caution. Let's take a look at conditions for the next 3 days. Again, tomorrow, Wednesday, partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers mainly during the afternoon. On Thursday, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy skies, also with some showers by afternoon. And on Friday, a tropical wave is expected to approach the area by late Friday. As a result, beginning Friday, mostly fair skies. However, by late afternoon, we expect an increase in cloudiness, shower, and possible thunderstorm activity. Across the region tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some showers can be expected throughout the Lesser Antilles. On the international scene, partly cloudy skies in New York, London and Beijing, and some possible thunderstorm activity expected in Miami and Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:54 a.m. and set at 6:09 p.m. For up-to-date information, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Please remember that we are still in the hurricane season. Please continue to be updated. Thank you and good night.
To end the news, the headlines again: a dead body pulled out of a house in Roseau on Tuesday, identified as former schoolteacher Cyril Chance. Hurricane Irma's onslaught on St. Martin and St. Thomas forced a rerouting of the cruise ship Carnival Fascination to Dominica. And the private sector to develop a disaster recovery plan to cut down on post-disaster recovery time. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. To our viewers around the world, thank you for watching.